Dominance?
Yeah,
Presence?
yeah, presence. And like counterattack, I guess. Like it's hard to score on a Kai because of how many times he can strike back. But look at this, guys.
A new
we
map.
have a brand new map. This is Night Market. For those of you, we mentioned this after Game 1, if any of you have been around long enough to remember that. But this map in particular has 2 walls, and there goes Rasmus. I'm going to cut myself off. Yeah, we do see a Rasmus ban from the side of Ole Miss, and a Rune, Kai, and Era is the look for Night Market.
Yeah, this is the first time we're going to see Yadi on Era instead of Juno. All the games that we've seen them, they've been playing. They've been playing Juno. I mean, and the Juno has been absolutely pivotal in Ole Miss's success. But seeing Yadi on Era, especially listed as that person's favorite character, is it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, we'll see if playstyle needs to change or not, because as Juno, Yadi was by far the more present scoring threat. That might change on a character like Era, who's kind of inherently more sporty, especially with a Rune standing next to Era. But I don't mean to sound like Era can't score on her own. But let's talk about this new map. We have not seen this on stream yet. So, just like any other map, there are 2 goal barriers. These times structured slightly different. They're no longer in the corners, but they're in line with the goal, which sets up for some interesting plays. But more importantly, I want to talk about those walls in the middle, because those can really disrupt some of the great passing team plays that we've seen really work for teams so far.
Yeah, we're doubling down with 2 Kais on both sides, and also a lot of ranged game, which means the longer this goes, as Era is taken down by Asher, the longer this series goes and the larger some of these ranged options become, fighting in these, oh my goodness, one after another, fighting in these tight corridors is going to be rough. Goal going through Witchings, my apologies.
Yeah.
Witchings.
This is also the first time we've seen Witchings on something that's not Rasmus, because of the Rasmus ban.
Correct.
Picking up Juno and immediately getting a point, so.
Yeah, I mean, a great play all around, and we saw the effects of, oh, whoops, Soren.
Oops.
But the effects of overtime on the core, right? We saw that core, I mean, bullet through those Juno blobs, and that was because we were in overtime. So the core moves, what is it, 3 times as fast or something crazy like that? So, a violent Juno play, but able to kind of get an early strike in for Lakeland.
Yeah, and a lot of these rounds are definitely building up to go to overtime for the most part. A lot of these are playing a lot slower, and then the moment I say that, we get a goal on the side of Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean, just caught Soren using his projectiles just a little too loosely, and it leaves the other side of Kai's goal wide open. The beauty of Kai is that he can cover the goal from anywhere with his projectiles, but he launched his projectiles at start instead of holding on to them to save the goal. So start just launches the core to the other side of the goal, and there's nothing Soren can do about it.
Yeah. Now, as we see Asher losing a lot of stagger and Era in that staggered state, we do see the pressure is really landing on Lakeland at the moment. Despite how much pressure we saw at the beginning from Ole Miss, Lakeland's not able to get the core too close, and even when they are, their stagger's really hurting from it.
Yeah, I mean, Lakeland, obviously this is extremely early in this full series, but Lakeland coming into this is the theoretical favorite because they got the first round bye. They are the 2 seed under SLU, with their one and only loss being to SLU. So these teams have already played, and Lakeland won. But so far, I mean, now we have open nets for both sides and a tie game 1-1. But Ole Miss has felt pretty in control thus far. Although, ooh, that was a little scary, but great clear there by FluffyWafflz to get out of that situation.
Yeah, as we now, Juno banished. We do see Rune putting up a little bit of pressure. Era again staggered, using the elusive to save herself from the Asher wall. Just that little blast.
Whoa. Force from Soren.
Wow!
Saves it and knocks it into the goal of Ole Miss. Lakeland goes up 2-1.
And I guarantee that was extremely intentional.
Yeah.
That was fully planned out. That's a great call by Soren to say, hey, I can launch the ball around the rim of this map. And Asher was ready to just catch it and tap it in. I mean, a great team play. And I cannot stress it enough, man. These teams are so good. And this event, this tournament, has been amazing.
It's nice to see the level of just awareness both sides have. That, even from the spectator's perspective, seemed like an awkward core flip. But then once it all comes together, it makes so much sense.
It's genius all of a sudden. Yeah, I mean, just great stuff from Lakeland. Great coordination all around. As you see a core flip come out from the opposing Kai. Just clearing the ball, nothing too crazy there. But keep an eye on Juno, as her core flip will be up very soon along with Kai's. Asher seems to be missing hers, and I'm not sure she must have missed
used it, but slightly missed.
Interesting.
Oh, Juno. Ooh.
Wow.
I don't know if you wanted to core flip.
I was just thinking the same thing. That feels, wow, like a little bit of a misplay, but they do end up catching the arrow on the other side. They stuff the goal, but FluffyWafflz survives. But see if they can keep it up. Yep, start there to make the save. That's a great
Lakeland
move.
takes the first series. Great job from Soren. They're coming out of the goal as soon as they have the 3-2 advantage. And just showing that Lakeland knows exactly what to do
and that's
when they're in that lead.
Yeah, that's something that I've noticed about watching Soren play both in this tournament as well as in the days leading up to today, is that he's very good at knowing how to sort of cheat up and get cheeky, like, goals as a goalie. Like, when he knows that his goal is under zero threat, he walks up very far and plays as a third forward, as we just saw there, and it can lead to some really great offensive plays.
I'm pretty sure everyone just got the awakening that they wanted, from special cooldowns to increased block duration to, I mean, literally, it was perfect for just about everyone, and I don't think anybody's going to be complaining after this first round.
Yeah, definitely hard to complain, although it is a little irritating if you're Lakeland that, you win the first series and you get early picks, but, Ole Miss ends up getting exactly what they would have gotten anyway.
Yeah.
Wow! Era gets caught using her primary ability and cannot deflect the core. Just sneaks right past her, and Kai isn't there to make the save.
Asher lean. Just like, yeah, I know what I just got away with. But as this continues, where Lakeland's up, we are seeing now the presence is once again feeling so drastic on the side of Ole Miss. Rune is taken out by Asher.
Yeah, a great job finding these picks again, and
oh my bravos.
Wow, that one I'm not so sure if that was intentional, but a great play nonetheless to bounce it off the wall in the middle of the map and get that weird 45-degree angle to send the core to the other side of the goal when Kai wasn't ready for it. Great play there by Witchings on the shooter.
Yeah, and again, I mean, this is the first time we've seen them not on Rasmus, and they're performing extremely well.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly not disappointing, not caving when he does not get his character. So, great stuff from him. Great stuff from Soren on his Kai.
Rune's taken out by Asher again, man.
Yeah, Lakeland not taking their foot off the gas.
Oh my.
Jeez. As Witchings finds another just stray shot on the goal that happens to creep in. And before you know it, Lakeland is up 2-0 in this series. It really doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. I imagine they're going to try to take... One team is going to try to take aerials as fast as they can because aerials Juno is kind of notorious. Asher or Kai with Quick Strike is kind of notorious. I think we just saw from both sides the handshake agreement of neither of us are going to get what we want. We got what we wanted last round. Have a good time.
Yeah, I think you're right. And that's all part of the strategy of this game, right? It's equally as important to get what you want as it is to make sure the enemy isn't getting what they want. So, yeah, both sides kind of just handshaking those, saying, nope, nobody's going to benefit from today. Slight misclick from Soren aiming for the corner, but does end up hitting his own goal barrier. We'll see if that comes back to bite him, but for now it's not looking like it, as Asher is commanding the core right in FluffyWafflz's face.
I think we're beginning to see a play pattern here. It's becoming less of what we expect from Rasmus and more of what we expect from a character that can get away with sitting in the middle of multiple people.
Oh, Soren. Not happy with that one, but does launch it off the wall straight into his own goal barrier as Witchings gets caught out, and that will be a goal. Great banish there from start on the Rune to guarantee that goal. There's no way Soren could get there when he's banished.
True. Yeah, great play from all these players using their abilities of their characters, getting everything at the best possible moment they can.
Yeah, for sure. You see start on Rune taking so much damage. And was that a core flip?
Yeah,
looking for
I think
a kill?
so, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it
that
was
was what you were talking about earlier. The core flip does have a knockback feature on it, so you can look for some cheeky kills like that. Unfortunately, that one goes just wide, but we do see a goal barrier go down, but FluffyWafflz there to save the other one. See, core flip forced out. Lots of just back and forth right now. Pretty stalled in the middle of the map.
Yeah, it's becoming a lot slower. The game's pace is kind of spreading out a little bit because, again, we're looking at a big map. But these Juno slimes, these blobs are just becoming such a commanding force that's really what you got to look out for. 4 seconds till overtime. This is where the core starts going real fast.
Look at Soren. Look at Soren walking up when his goal is under no threat. He plays it like a forward. And wow.
That's speaking of the blobs.
Oh,
okay.
there it is. Yep.
Man, and that's exactly what I was just talking about. Like, Soren is so good at understanding the situation of the round, and knowing that, oh my lord, how in the world Soren finds a wild kill onto Rune, and now, though, Ole Miss is threatening these goal barriers with a numbers disadvantage, but a bit of a wasted opportunity there from Lakeland, finding the early kill and having the reel from it.
There's that strike, unable to find the goal. But man,
this poor Rune.
Old Miss
why would you let anyone play the game anymore?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what do you do? There's the elusive burn. Now Asher's going to look for the shield blast. Yeah, there it is. I mean, talk about a snowball effect.
Yeah.
Right now, Ole Miss is healing it.
Yeah,
oh, jeez.
Yeah. This Juno is overwhelming.
Disgusting.
And it's so interesting to see, too, because we do associate Witchings as a Rasmus player. We talked about it before the game, and we acknowledged when Rasmus got banned. But clearly, completely unfazed, showing his flexibility on other characters and not slacking it in the slightest, as both goal barriers drop before you can even say the word goal barrier.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, we're seeing Soren does have the core flip. There's still a chance for this series to be brought back because suddenly Asher's goal is open, which brings up another point.
Wow!
Kai was
Soren.
walking forward with the core strike despite being the goalie.
And that's so smart. And this is what we talk about with this team. They're so coordinated, saying, hey, I'm the goalie, but I got my core flip. And we have another character on our team in Asher that can lock down the goal for just a moment. So Soren is able to walk up, use his core flip, and sure enough, it works beautifully.
Perfect
well
rotations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's something that I'm wanting to see more of from not just Lakeland, but all teams. If you're going to pick this, what we'll call double goalie comp, because I mean Kai and Asher, as we've been saying, can both defend the goal. You have to take advantage of it, like Lakeland just did. That might be the key, going back to what we saw in round 5 of the round robin, to beating SLU and their Rasmus Drakkar comp.
Yeah, I mean, it is little advantages like that of having the extra core flip that you wouldn't otherwise have on your forwards. Little things like that matter, and if you don't believe me, like, look back at the game we just watched. It was a perfect example of utilizing your resources when you can and where you can, and knowing your role in the team and knowing where your role can be shifted to. Just great stuff all around from Lakeland.